Hello friends, welcome to Dairy Marine YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about marine hydrophore system, their working with simple line diagram and how to charge a hydrophore. Let's discuss about this topic in a detailed way. Marine hydrophore system. In ship, fresh water is used for various purposes like cooking, drinking, cleaning, etc. That we all have discussed in the freshwater generator. So, have you ever imagined that how this continuous water supply is made into reality with enough force to meet at various demands in ship? For example, due to hydrophore, it is capable of performing an array of actions including pumping, storing, and supply of fresh water at regular and controlled pressure in marine ship. Okay, we know this. Using hydrophore, it is capable of performing an array of actions including pumping, storing, and supply of fresh water at regular and controlled pressure in marine ship. Why hydrophore system is mandatory on board ship is because the demand of fresh water is different in different parts of ship, ranging from minimum consumption of fresh water to the maximum. That means the demand for fresh water is different according to different parts of ship. Some parts will have minimum consumption, some will have maximum consumption. If you are using centrifugal pump directly to the freshwater line, pump will be cut in and cut off frequently due to small consumption of water, which drops the system pressure drastically. We have to understand that water is incompressible. Here lies significance of hydrophore. That means here hydrophore serves as a pressurized reservoir which keeps the system pressure in a particular range with help of compressed air. We all know that we are using centrifugal pump in ship, but if we directly connect to the freshwater line, there will be pump will cut in and cut off frequently due to small consumption of water. So the system pressure will drop very drastically. We need to understand that water is incompressible. Here comes the significance of hydrophore. Hydrophore will act as a pressurized reservoir which keeps the system pressure in a particular range, which works in the principle of a compressed air. Okay. Hydrophore means we know that demand of fresh water is different in different parts of ship, ranging from minimum consumption of fresh water to maximum. And if we connect a centrifugal pump directly to the freshwater line, the pump will cut in and cut off frequently due to small consumption of water, and there will be a drop in system pressure drastically. So we have to keep in mind that water is incompressible. So here lies the significance of hydrophore. It serves as a pressurized reservoir which keeps the system pressure in particular range with help of compressed air. Okay. Here's a simple diagram of a ship hydrophore system. Here we can see freshwater tank, that is ports and starboard side, through pumps and all. We will pump water to the freshwater tank, that is here hydrophore tank. Then there will be drains and bilges and all. At the top there will be relief valve, pressure gauges and pressure switches. Pressure switch means cut in and cut off pressure switch will be there. Then compressed air will be there, will be supplied to the freshwater generator. That means here the hydrophore tank for the freshwater pressure tank. And the level gauge will be there to know the level of water, and through the hydrophore tank there will be hydrophore outlet for different purpose. Here is a simple diagram for a ship hydrophore system. So while the working of a hydrophore tank in simple terms means it is impossible to compress water. So we provide compressed air as a spring which always press up the water in hydrophore tank and maintain system pressure. We all know that water is incompressible. So here using compressed air, we use it as a spring. We will always press the water in hydrophore tank and maintain system pressure. Hydrophore system consists of hydrophore tank, centrifugal pump, pressure switches, level gauge, pressure gauge, etc. And centrifugal pump discharge leads in and out of the bottom of hydrophore tank. Means hydrophore system consists of hydrophore tank, centrifugal pump, pressure switches, level gauges, pressure gauge, etc. And centrifugal pump discharge leads into in and out of the bottom of hydrophore tank on its way to the piping system. Okay. The tank contains water with compressed air at the top. We all know that there will be compressed air at the top in the hydrophore tank. If the water is consumed, then air pressure will drop. The pressure switch will is connected to tank so that whenever the air pressure falls below set pressure, that means approximately 2.5 bar, it will start the pump. Then pump builds up the water in the tank, and when the pressure hits the maximum, approximately 4.5 bar, then it will cut off the pressure switch. Here we need to understand that in hydrophore tank, at the top there will be compressed air, and a pressure switch. If water is consumed, then air pressure will be dropping. That means a pressure switch is connected to a tank so that whenever air pressure falls below set pressure, that means it will start the pump. The pump builds up water in the tank and the pressure hits the maximum, that means 4.5 bar. Then it will be cut off the pressure switch also. Here's what happened. Means tank contain water in the compressed air at the top. If water is consumed, then air pressure will be dropping. A pressure switch is connected to the tank so that whenever air pressure falls below set pressure, that is approximately 2.5 bar, it will start the pump. The pump builds up water in the tank. When the pressure hits the maximum, that means almost 4.5 bar set pressure, it will be cut off by the pressure switch. The mountings in hydrophore systems are there: relief valve, pressure switches, pressure gauge, and level gauge. These are the mountings in hydrophore system. Hydrophore systems mountings are relief valve, pressure switch, pressure gauge, and level gauge. And procedure to charge hydrophore system. How to charge means how to start the hydrophore system. Close the outlet valve of the hydrophore. We need to close the outlet valve of hydrophore. Start the hydrophore pump in manual mode and you need to keep an eye on the side glass. Once the side glass is filled with almost 70% of water, that means then charge the tank with compressed air and put your hydrophore pump in auto mode. That means first you have to close the outlet valve of hydrophore, then start the hydrophore pump in manual mode. Then we have to keep an eye on the side glass. Once the side glass is filled with almost 70% of fresh water, then charge the tank with compressed air, put on hydrophore pump in auto mode. Your pump will stop at desired set pressure and stop charging with compressed air. Open the hydrophore outlet valve, monitor and check hydrophore pump in cutoff at regular interval. Okay. Then after this, your pump will stop at desired set pressure and stop charging with compressed air. Open the hydrophore outlet valve, monitor and check hydrophore pump cut in and cut out at regular interval. Okay. Procedure to charge hydrophore system or starting hydrophore means close the outlet valve of hydrophore, start the hydrophore pump in manual mode and keep an eye on the side glass. But the side glass is filled with 70% of water. That means on the some hydrophore having marginal level glass. So then charge the tank with compressed air and put your hydrophore pump in auto mode. Your pump will stop at desired set pressure and then stop charging with compressed air. Then after this, open hydrophore outlet valve, then monitor and check hydrophore pump cut in and cut off at regular interval. What are the reasons for continuous running of hydrophore pump are? Mainly continuous running of this hydrophore is due to insufficient air pressure. So charge air as per manufacturer's instruction due to wrong setting of pressure switches or faulty pressure switch. Problem with the pump such as loose suction, insufficient capacity, high water consumption rate also. Continuous running of hydrophore pump is due to insufficient air pressure. So we need to charge air as per manufacturer instruction and due to wrong setting of pressure switch or faulty pressure switch. Problem with pump such as loose suction, insufficient capacity, high water consumption rate, etc. Thank you.